In the last chapter, we heard Mutu's story, which was a very dark story. Made you happy he had escaped. And then you guys did your responses on Flipgrid, which were so cool. It was so fun to see what you had to say and see your faces and feel the energy. It was really cool. Okay. So now we have chapter 31 called Fever. All through that starless night, your breath came in wheezy gasps as raindrops wriggled like silver snakes through the gaps in our tent. So Ruku's having a hard time breathing, like it says wheezy gasps, like someone who has asthma, like really bad asthma. When I rubbed mosquito repellent on your skin, your eyelids fluttered open, but you were too tired to try to shove me away. I would have given anything to see you throw a tantrum or complain. I mashed a bit of the blackened, limp banana between my fingers, and you swallowed it a few small bites. Then you sipped some water. Before I could rejoice, thinking you were on the mend, you clutched at your stomach, crawled a few feet away, retched, and threw up. Mutu stirred awake, and his eyes had a glazed, feverish look. Look at him, I said to Arul. Mutu's ill too. I'm just too full to move after that fine meal we had last night, Mutu joked, though his voice was softer than usual. You three stay here, Arul said. I'll work alone today. One person can't make enough to feed 4 mouths, even on a good day, I said. I'll go. I had never left you with anyone else before, but we had no choice. Mutu was shivering. He definitely needed rest. What, Akka? Mutu said. You're missing the fresh air around the dump so much you want to work today? I forced a smile. When Ruku's better, we'll start up the necklace business again. And then we'll make enough money so we can take a holiday and both of you can just play together for a whole week. No, Akka. Mutu grinned weakly at me. If you kept me from working that long, I'd fall ill from shock. Arul's face was too grimly set to even smile. Arul led me to a lot between 2 tumble-down houses where people had thrown trash after the holidays. Gullies of water ran down the sides of the enormous garbage pile into an ocean of water that looked and smelled like raw sewage. Useless, burned-out fireworks bobbed in it, but I spotted a precious bottle poking out of the trash mound. I bunched up my skirt, tied the hem around my waist, and waded through the water toward the bottle. A while later, Kumar and 2 of the boys in his gang joined us. Where's the brat Sridhar so I can stay away from him? I craned my neck, searching for the rude boy. He's gone, Kumar said. Gone? Happy to hear it. Gone where? I said. Dead, Kumar said. Dead? I thought. Thought he went on a holiday? Kumar gave a bitter laugh. He got sick from something. He kept vomiting and then... I am so sorry. I looked down at the gray sludge into which my feet had sunk. I am really, really sorry. Don't be. Kumar churned the filthy water with the stick. Kids die every day. You start feeling sorry, you will drown. From what I had seen of him, Sridhar was selfish and mean. Still, he didn't deserve to die so young. It shocked me that someone like us could be here one day and dead the next. Arul put an arm around Kumar's shoulder. For a long moment they stood together, still as gravestones, any rivalry forgotten. Then they moved apart and went to work, trying to dredge out at least a few bottles or tins from the sea of sewage. Chapter 32. The Price of Freedom. Thunder boomed. Purple rain clouds burst over us like rotting grapes. You'd better see how Ruku and Mutu are doing, Arul said. I will sell what we found. Sheets of rain blinded me as I hurried to the graveyard. In spite of how brave you had been with Kuti during Diwali, I was scared I'd find you cowering with fear when I returned. What I found was even scarier. Your body was a tight knot. Your lips twitched, but no sound escaped them. Your forehead was hot, and your hair was mangled with sweat. Kuti was pacing about restlessly, as if he understood you weren't well and it upset him as much as it upset me. Her fever's worse, I think, Mutu said. His own eyes still had a feverish glaze. Rest. I'll look after you both. Mutu fell into an exhausted sleep. I dipped our towel in cool rainwater and squeezed it over your eyes, but your forehead stayed burning hot. I dripped water past your lips every time I could. I lost track of how many desperate hours went by. The wind picked up. It tore away the plastic tablecloth we had used as a door and sent it flapping like a bat across the dark graveyard. Kuti and I raced after it. I pinned it down, but only after it was nearly torn in two. Struggling against the wind and lashing rain, I tied the ragged pieces as best I could across the gap. But everything inside was already wet. A rash had broken out on your neck, making your skin as rough as sandpaper, and you moaned every now and then. Mutu slept on, not waking even when Arul staggered into our storm-ravaged shelter without money and hardly any more food. I ran into a nasty gang, he said. They stole our stuff and shoved me into a gutter. But thankfully, they didn't beat me up. All we had for dinner was what we had been able to scrounge out of the garbage. A tin of some yellow-green slop, 2 rotting bananas, and some moldy roti. But hunger was clawing so fiercely at my stomach that I shut my eyes, scooped up a handful of the swill, and stuck it in my mouth. Let's save the fruit for Ruku and Mutu, Arul suggested. I scraped off the green fuzz growing on a roti. We ate in silence, broken only by your labored breaths and the rainstorm lashing the banyan's branches. Our bellies were empty, but I was used to that. Now I also felt empty of hope. I hardly slept. When dawn came, I knew I needed to make a plan. Somehow, I had to find a way to get money. I needed to buy you good food, medicine for your fever, and things to shore up our shelter and make it comfortable. Although a thought entered my mind as I stroked Kuti, I pushed it away, but it returned. I didn't want to. I had no right to. I couldn't do it. I could, and I had to. While you three continued to sleep, I led Kuti out of the graveyard. We walked toward the part of town where the rich girl lived. My feet felt heavy as sacks full of scrap metal. And it wasn't just my feet that dragged. It was like my mind was dragging my heart along, and the rest of my body did not want to come. When I reached the gate with Goddess Lakshmi's name on it, I knelt on the wet sidewalk and hugged Kuti close. So she's visiting the rich people again. Okay, the mother and the daughter. Remember, the daughter Prava wanted the puppy. Kuti, I have to help my sister in Muthu. This is the only way. Do you understand? He stared straight into my eyes. His tail didn't wag. I'm sorry, Kuti. I'm really, really sorry. I'm not sure how long I clung to him, rubbing my forehead against his rain-plastered neck and breathing the scent of his wet fur. He nudged me with his warm nose like he wanted to comfort me, but it only made me hurt worse. Somehow I forced myself to clang on the gate. The gardener opened it. You again. What do you want? I am here to sell our dog, I said. Can't wake them at the crack of dawn, he grumbled, but I pushed past him, strode down the drive, and rapped hard on the front door. A maid opened it and would have slammed the door in my face, except that the mother of the girl was close behind. Yes, the mother said. Kuti, our dog, I said. I'm here to sell him. 2,000 rupees, you told me. Prava will be thrilled. She really fell in love with him, said the mother. I knelt and pressed my face against Kuti's warm neck one last time. Go in, Kuti. Gently I pushed him. This is your new home. He cocked his head like you did when you were listening hard. I knew he was trying to understand. You're a smart dog, Kuti. A good dog. We have to give you away, though, for Ruku. Understand? He whined. I gave him another gentle shove. You'll like this place. Stay here, I said to him. The mother rustled off and returned with money in a package. Here's money and some food. And he'll be happy here, she said. My eyes were blinded with tears, and I couldn't thank her. Without saying another word, I turned around and walked away. Kuti tried to follow. I heard him yowl. Oh. Heard his toes clip-clopping on the floor as he struggled to break free before the door slammed behind me. So after these 2 chapters, you will have another response to do on Flipgrid. And today I'm just asking you to respond emotionally to these 2 chapters. You could talk about how you feel about Ruku and how she's doing. Or you could talk about what Viji just did when she sold Muthu. Or you could talk about what you think they should do next. Okay? Very heavy chapters. I can't wait to see your responses. Good luck.